All right, everybody.
Hey, we're back.
We are back with the Lake Waco Murders Part 2. I will I will do a little recap. And then going forward, I'm going to change um, the way we do this as far as like how I'm telling it. We're still getting used to all this, especially me, as far as editing and the presentation and everything. But yeah, so look forward to that.
I'm gonna have my own little blip in there, guys. Okay.
Yes. Did you want to do your, what did you call it? Did you call it anything?
It's just hotcakes.
Oh
Because
yes.
hotcakes go good with coffee.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know if it does or not, but
It is what it is. But yeah, you have any hot cakes for us?
I have a hot cake. So last week, I like to listen to podcasts during the day while I work. I also listen to them on the way to work, on the way to pool. So I know how to play pool, and on the way home. So my favorite podcast, Murder with My Husband, shout out, did the story, which I don't know when they did it, but I listened to it last week. Okay, was about Selena, and I didn't know
Like
she was
the
married.
Selena?
Yeah, bro. I didn't know she was married. Did you know? I didn't know.
Oh, I have heard of that just because my friend, shout out Nubia, is a huge
Oh yeah,
she's a huge Selena fan. Like yeah. But I think I remember her telling me something about that though.
yeah, and like it was a secret,
Yeah. And like a whole bunch
and
of
then the media screwed it up.
yeah.
Imagine that, right?
Imagine that.
Side note, they also have their little dog on the podcast, and they're on Netflix now too. Plug it. But if you hear little feet and water, that's because Ollie Lolly is wandering around the kitchen and dining room, living room, looking for pieces of French fries or hamburger.
Yeah, because we literally just finished dinner, and he's just looking for any scraps that he can find. So,
Yep.
Ollie, you have officially made it into the podcast as the podcast pet.
Oh,
So-
yeah, boy. I love that baby.
But yeah, so anything else, or
No,
is that's just your hot cake for today?
Right
Okay. All right. So then, we'll go ahead and get started here. So, just to recap, um, or actually, let's go ahead and put out the disclaimer because we're going to talk about. I'm going to briefly go over what happened, and as you know, we do like a cuss word or two. So just listeners.
I never say naughty words.
Okay, sure, pal. Anyway, so little disclaimer, but yeah, so I know after this one,
He just sniffed my mic.
So after this one, I know I did put a poll out probably about a month ago, close to a month ago, but what y'all want me to do next. So I am currently working on the cult one. However, that will be after, like, we won't post this coming next weekend. Yes, I can't.
Next weekend because we're gonna move on up to Lubbock for the weekend. That's Co-Wetzel, by the way. Plug Co-Wetzel, like my big baby girl is graduating from Texas Tech.
That's me.
Yay! God's up.
Yes, but yeah. So I'll probably post because the Colts are gonna be parts.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, and the one that I'm currently working on for that is it's one I've never heard of, but apparently he's very notorious because it didn't happen in the United States. So just get ready for that. But yeah, just keep your eyes on the socials, and y'all should know.
Why are you staring at me, bro? Come up here.
Okay, so I have this as the Lake Waco Murders Part 2, Justice on Trial. So previously we discussed the murders of Kenneth, Jill, and Raylene, as well as we were starting to get into the arrests of the 4 men believed to be responsible for those crimes. And we had the whole case of mistaken identity with one of the girls. So, yeah, I kind of left y'all on a little cliffhanger there. H really hated me for that. But,
so mad.
but I like that I hooked you real good. So, Again, so the three teens were murdered in July of 1982. By the mid 1980s, many assumed that the case was solved. We went over that the suspects had been convicted, sentences were imposed, and a community felt like justice was happening. Of course, we wouldn't be here. However, as time passed, there's a bunch of scrutiny about how the investigation. Oh no, I'm already starting to jumble. Intensified. So, a lot of that had to do with questions emerging regarding the evidence, the witnesses, the possibility that authorities had convicted the wrong people. What once appeared to be a closed case was on the verge of becoming one of the most contentious criminal cases in Texas history.
Big word.
I know. Look at me go.
That's that education.
All right. Let's see. So, whoops, hold on. Okay, here we go. So, we have the convictions. So, following the arrests, prosecutors advanced their cases against the four individuals, that being David Spence, Manir Deeb, Tony or Antonio Melendez, and Gilbert Melendez. So, David Spence and Manir Deeb were sentenced to death, while Gilbert and Tony received life imprisonment.
Now, so refresh my memory. Why were the sentences different? You know,
I think that's kind of what we're going to get into. Like we didn't get into it deep enough for that.
Cool.
Yeah. So at the time, these convictions were regarded as a significant, triumph that the public believed, justice had been served. And many of the families of the victims thought that they could finally breathe. They felt like, okay, we got the people, closure. However, skepticism did linger, especially since the defense attorneys began to voice concerns regarding the investigation's integrity and the sufficiency of the evidence to uphold these convictions. So,
which makes sense. That's kind of their job, right?
Exactly.
Poke holes and shit.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that you're getting the right people, and this is why I said before in part one that you need to kind of make up your own mind as we go through this, because there's a lot of people that believe that they convicted the right people, and then there's the other side that's like, I don't know about that. So at the end, you can tell me how you feel. I've kind of already made up my decision with doing all this.
Well, that's because you researched it. I didn't.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, all the years growing up in this area, I've never heard from the people telling me the stories and stuff. I've never heard the other side. Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, wait, what? You're stopping?
Oh yeah.
Heard that, so
yeah.
Like, wait.
Yeah, because there's a lot that went into that first part. So. Yeah. So next we are gonna. So this is the crucial turn in the investigation. So one of the most compelling developments in this case emerged from someone intimately familiar with the investigation, and that was Detective Jan Price. So, years after the convictions were handed down, Price revisited the evidence and began to identify discrepancies that didn't align with her. The more that she looked into it, the more her curiosity was like, you get that,
right.
like something's not, the math ain't mathin'.
Right.
So with each review, like I said, her curiosity grew, leading her to question if about the handling of the investigation itself. Right. So she highlighted inconsistencies in witness statements and raised concerns about certain pieces of evidence that had contributed to the men's convictions. So what made her observations noteworthy was that they originated not from a defense attorney or journalist, but from a detective directly involved in the case.
Oh, super.
So, fun times.
It's your own teammate.
It'd be your own people. So as Price dig deeper into the specifics, of course, that just intensified her apprehension, suggesting that errors may have occurred during the initial investigation. So her growing doubts and intensified an already existing debate, prompting many to reconsider the strength of the convictions, so whether or not they deserved life or death. That once appeared like, so since she's like, hang on, maybe we should tweak these a little bit because I'm finding some things and I don't think I don't think it's lining up. So
okay.
so fun.
So that's
fun.
probably why their sentences were different.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, sentences.
I think you actually said it right the first time.
Oh.
Oh gosh. Okay. So
I have speaking problems sometimes.
So what I'm about to get into now, nowadays, this type of evidence is thrown out.
Why?
So do you remember me talking about them biting off the nipple?
Yes.
So that's one of the biggest controversies in this case is the bite mark testimony in the David Smith case.
Why?
Because one of the significant pieces of evidence against David Spence was the testimony regarding the bite marks. Prosecutors presented experts who claimed that the marks found on one of the victims matched Spence's dental impressions. Now, at this time, back then, what are we in, 1982, 84? That type of evidence was perceived as highly convincing. So back then, it was admissible. You could use it.
Yeah.
And jurors often regarded it as scientific proof, giving it considerable weight in the courtroom. However, years later, forensic experts began to challenge the validity of bite marks for identifying a specific individual. As research advanced, many specialists concluded that bite mark analysis was not as dependable as previously believed. So I think it has to do with, like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found that out through this because I was like, because it took me back to like I know that they would do like you can identify by dental records and stuff like that, but this is different because I guess I didn't really go too deep into it, not from what I found, which I will end up listing all my sources because I think that was some of the feedback that we got. And so I'm going to make sure I do that. But so with that, it just raised the critical question of if one of the most compelling pieces of evidence used to convict Spence may have lacked real reliability, how much trust should you place in that verdict?
True.
Because when you're going through this, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
So here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
I've always heard that everybody has a distinct bite.
I've heard that too.
Every person's different.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the...
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just...
I don't know if y'all noticed, but like I don't really have to finish my sentences with her. She just knows what I'm thinking. So if y'all were like, what were we gonna ask? The question was basically, how do you, if everybody has a distinct different bite, why would it not be? It's almost like a fingerprint, right?
Right.
Everybody has their own. If you
identifiable.
Use fingerprints, why can't you use a bite mark as identification? Does anybody know? Like,
yeah, if y'all like know,
an attorney or
that'd be so cool.
Spouse and attorney, or like spouse, or I don't know, like someone involved in the court
or if it's just a hobby that you you know that
no information, chat us and let us know, and then we'll be telling the peeps. Okay.
Yep.
Stop looking. Ollie's a nervous licker. Sorry. On his feet.
Okay, so now this is gonna kind of take us into the witness testimonies, the problems with it. So, another significant issue that has garnered attention is the witness testimony. The case depended largely on individuals sharing what they saw, heard, or knew with investigators. However, over time, some of those accounts began to shift. So, as appeals progressed, concerns arose regarding whether certain witnesses had faced pressure or influence during the investigation. Some individuals later modified aspects of their statements, while others retracted their testimony they had provided years earlier. So, we have some. I never know how to say this, but like they recanted it. I think it's
Redacted.
no, it's like recantation. I think is
Ew.
like the
I never know.
yeah.
When you
So
say that, it makes me think of like a spell, recantation.
yeah, exactly. But it's basically they kind of like currently with the whole Brian Koberger case. If any of y'all are aware of that with the Idaho 4,
No.
he initially pled guilty, but he just recanted because
So
he had.
what's the point? Here's my question.
Here's
What's the point in doing that?
because if you plead guilty for for something that could essentially put you up for the death penalty, if you plead guilty, it takes that away.
Okay, but if you didn't do it, you didn't freaking do it.
The justice system is I don't know. But yeah, he recanted, so which that's a. I'll probably end up doing a case on that.
Yeah, but
once.
we have to watch it first on Netflix.
Yes.
Don't talk about it.
Okay. So this doesn't necessarily imply that the convictions were incorrect, but it does, of course, complicate things.
Right.
Because when key testimonies change, determining which version is accurate becomes challenging.
I think sometimes people are like, "Oh yeah, I was there, I saw it," and they really weren't, just because they don't like that freaking person.
Yeah.
Accused.
Or like, what always irritates me is like, I don't think people do this anymore, but I've heard like of older cases where like there will be prank calls, like saying, like making jokes about the victims, and just because they're assholes.
Okay, so
Like especially if it's kids.
oh fuck all the way off with that.
Exactly. And so like that shit pisses me off because they would be calling the parents of the victims like, you have nothing else better to do? I mean, I know it. If it was in this case, which it's not, but this is the '80s. My dad was over there trying to ride his bike across the fucking train tracks before the train hit him. That's what he was doing back then. Go do something.
In the 80s, I was a baby.
Yeah, he was. I think, or maybe it was the '90s. Anyways, but yeah.
I don't know. Is there? I know that not like there's not an abundance of things for prosecutors and the judicial system to deal with how stupid and fucked off people are already. But like, can you charge someone for doing that?
Like the prank calls?
Yeah, that's fucked off.
I don't know because like whenever it's just kind of like fucked up like with strangling or not strangling, Lord, stalking cases where you'll report, and they're like, well, until they actually do something.
Oh my gosh, I listened to another one
Pisses
last
me
week. Murder with My Husband, where the girl she reported over and over and over
off.
to the campus police, and they were like, maybe he's just this, maybe just that. So she was like, well, they're not gonna do shit. So I gotta go to the regular police station. She goes to the regular police station, and guess what they say? You have to go back and report this to the campus police. And guess what ended up happening? He fucking killed her.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, if y'all can see my husband right now, he looks so sped trying to walk through here and not
Make a noise.
sound. It's hilarious. Never mind. He was in our show so bad. You let us know. Do you want to hear this man speak to y'all about something?
Do you want Dad's 2 cents?
Dad's 2 cents, because we don't want a lot of change from him. You don't know, but you're gonna know. You don't want a lot of change.
Yeah.
He does have the best dad jokes, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's pretty great, I suppose. Anyways, back to it.
Oh, yes.
So many began to question, whether the jury had access to the complete narrative or if the unreliable testimonies may have had more of an impact than they previously understood. So this leads us to the crucial question that I have on this slide for those who are watching on YouTube. How much should a jury how much should a jury trust testimony when stories change?
Ask it again. I was yapping. I'm sorry.
I know you were. How much should a jury trust testimony when stories change? It's a thinker.
Human nature automatically throws down the whole entire situation.
Yep, exactly. So when witness accounts evolve over time, how much weight, should a jury assign to them is another way of phrasing that question. But yeah. Okay, so now this is where we're going to take an unexpected twist into the case. So in 1991, Munir Deeb's conviction was overturned, indicating that the court identified significant issues with the original trial, providing him another opportunity at justice. And I'm going to try not to let my feelings get in the way as I go through the rest of this because you're going to see how I feel about this, but I'm really trying to remain.
I already know, bro.
So,
okay.
Okay.
Mom, so that's why I can tell.
Yeah. So this is quite significant when you consider the context, because just a few years prior, Deeb had been sentenced to death. And now the validity of his conviction was being challenged, indicating the overturn. So things took an even more astonishing turn. Upon retrial, Deeb was acquitted.
Why? What was so freaking different from the first trial?
It's literally the bite mark.
Stop it.
Which it wasn't even Munir's. He's the one that.
It wasn't even his bite mark.
No.
So what the hell does it matter?
I don't know. But so this took this man from sitting on death row to being free.
He's sitting on death row, then he's sitting at McDonald's. Because of somebody else's bite mark?
Or his gas station.
That had nothing to do with him whatsoever.
Nope.
Where is the logic? Somebody help me out here, please. I don't be knowing.
Anyway, so unsurprisingly, this led to a surge of questions. If one conviction could be overturned and result in an acquittal, what implications did this have for the rest of the case? So for many, this marked a pretty pivotal moment. The discussion shifted from simply identifying the murderer to questioning the accuracy of the investigation itself. So now, it's like we're not even thinking about the victims anymore. To me, it's like we're worried about the investigation. Yeah, it's like, of course, like you said, the media.
Yeah, who screwed up? Who didn't screw up? How can we blast this all over to make the validity of the case even less? But let's not look at the people who are over here that are still mourning the loss of their family members.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me.
That stuff always pisses me off when it comes to that stuff. So while Deeb ultimately gained his freedom, another individual implicated in the case, David Spence, remained on death row.
The person that did the bite, that they threw out.
Well, the one that they identified the bite mark analysis with.
Right.
So.
But they threw it out.
We're getting to that.
Oh, shit. Wait, you said that.
Yeah, well, you'll see.
Okay.
So, now we are going to talk about David Spence for a little bit because he is really, when it comes down to it, like, very centered in this case. So, while Munir Deeb was granted a new trial and ultimately acquitted, David Spence remained on death row unwavering in his fight for justice. He persistently filed appeals, maintaining his claim of innocence. His legal team highlighted significant concerns regarding the evidence, urging the courts to reassess the case. So at this stage, the case gained considerable attention, obviously, throughout Texas. Discussions shifted focus from the murders themselves to whether the correct individuals had been convicted and if the justice system had truly operated justly.
No.
So, as more inquiries emerged surrounding witness testimonies and forensic evidence, the debate intensified, obviously, especially when you have the media. So, some argued that Spence deserved another opportunity to demonstrate his innocence, while others maintained that the jury had reached the right conclusion. So, there's that 50-50 I was just talking about a minute ago. Some of them think he did it, and some of them think, well, no. So, that's going to be up for you to decide. Regardless of where individuals stood on the issue, one fact was undeniable. This case had evolved into a broader dialogue about justice, accountability, and the repercussions of errors in the legal system.
Mm-hmm.
So, regrettably, for David Spence, his appeals would eventually come to a close, leading to the next chapter of this story. This is where my true colors are going to kind of show, which I guess if you've followed the case, if you knew about it, you'll understand this. But so after years of appeals, David he exhausted all his legal options. So on April 3rd, 1997, he was executed by the state of Texas.
Okay.
Throughout the entire ordeal, he consistently claimed his innocence and maintained that he had no involvement in the murders. Interestingly, the questions surrounding the case persisted even more after the execution. In fact, for many of these inquiries only grew louder. So by this time, concerns had already been raised regarding the witness testimony, the evidence, the case of Munir Deeb, whose conviction was overturned before he was eventually acquitted.
So they're saying that he wasn't even there?
Munir?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what I got from it. I think, well, I'll put that at the end.
Word.
So, due to these issues, a number of attorneys, journalists, criminal justice advocates began to question whether Texas had executed the wrong individual. Conversely, some still believe that the conviction was just, and that the justice had been served. More than 40 years after the murders, the question continues to spark debate. So, to this day, people are still asking if the wrong man was convicted and put to death, executed. However, the narrative didn't conclude with David Spence's execution. The surrounding controversy persisted for years, influencing public perception of the investigation and its lasting impact. So, the aftermath of all of this is going to be that even after the trials, appeals, and execution, the narrative was far from over, which I'm really glad that someone suggested that I did this, by the way. Over the years, the fates of the men convicted in the case diverged significantly. Gilbert Melendez passed away in prison in 1998. Munir Deeb, who had been acquitted and released, lived as a free man until his death in 1999. Tony Melendez remained incarcerated until he died in 2017. So what remains most significant is that the questions surrounding the case never fully went away. Even decades later, debates continued about whether the investigation was accurate and if true justice had been served. So I have on the screen here where I put were the right people convicted? Was the evidence reliable? Could the outcome have been different? For some, the convictions signified accountability for a heinous crime. For others, the case became emblematic, another big word, of how witness testimony, forensic evidence, and errors within the justice system can lead to repercussions. Long after the court proceedings concluded, the Lake Waco murders continued to ignite discussions surrounding wrongful convictions, the death penalty, and the erosion of trust in judicial outcomes. This is precisely why this story remains to be a topic. I'm sorry, y'all. She's trying to figure out my tablet.
I was making sure it wasn't dead.
No, you're good. Remains a topic of conversation for more than 40 years later. So, I went ahead because that's pretty much the end of this, but I wanted to kind of put a legacy of this case because obviously we're here over 40 years later. We're covering this, the Lake Waco murders, and there's still questions. So one of the most significant debates revolves around, of course, the running theme here, whether the correct individuals were convicted. Concerns have emerged regarding witness testimonies, forensic evidence, and the investigation as a whole, leading many to speculate if errors occurred throughout the process.
I mean, to me, there needs to be some hella difference
Mm-hmm.
in the evidence and the statements and the whole procedure after investigating it when someone goes from death row to just
Being free.
going back your day, bro. Like, what?
Because,
what the fuck was that big of a difference?
That's what I'm saying. Because they keep claiming.
You can't say it was a bite mark because he didn't have shit to do with it.
Yeah. So that was one of the things that stuck with me too. Because I'm like, because they're saying that some of them it was coerced confessions, and that's why they recanted. But then because 3 of the 4 literally died in prison. One was executed, and the other two just passed away. But because he's the one that was the gas station owner that thought Jill was someone else. So to me, he is the guy.
He started the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, he's the ringleader in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
if he never said anything, nothing would have ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the one that gets off.
And then because she was with her friends, they all did it. They all got killed. Yeah, that's my dog.
That doesn't make sense to me. What do y'all think?
Yeah, because
that the right peoples were incarcerated. What do you think about what was the dude's name?
Which one?
The guy that was acquitted.
Munir.
What do y'all think about that? That's weird to me. I cannot let that go.
And the question that I keep going back to
is such a huge difference.
Is I feel like we should reevaluate the bite mark evidence. Because right now it's inadmissible in court these days. But why?
Why? Do y'all know? Can you tell us?
Because it's like they said it, but then they're like, well, or at least that's what I was getting from it. And so, I don't know. And to me,
I just need more.
And I can't even imagine how the parents feel if they're even still here, maybe?
No, bro.
No? Okay.
The people in prison died when I graduated high school.
No, I'm talking about the parents of the victims.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So then, no, my parents are still alive.
That's what I was saying. I was like, well, I should have probably looked at that. But, because, to me, I feel like the justice system should be responsible, held accountable for something, especially if and I don't want to say never about this never fully being I feel like we could still find out.
Yeah.
Because all these other cases are doing it.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know.
Here's our questions, peeps. You ready? Hey, they need names.
We need
follow us.
We need a fan base name.
Yes, that's what it's called, a fan base name. So here,
I'll come up with some ideas and put it as a poll.
Yes. Here's our questions. 1, what are your thoughts about what's his name?
I've never
Manir being acquitted. 2, what is your thought on bite marks being inadmissible? 3, let us know if you know scientifically why. Is there a scientific reason, or was it a political reason, like we just don't want to use it because, someone that doesn't want to get found guilty?
Like they found their way around it.
Yeah, everybody knows that there's people that get away with things because of who they are, where
Money.
they are, and the power that they have, which is the dinero.
Yep.
I mean, we're not stupid. We live in America.
Yeah, I'm like,
so
we be knowing.
We were knowing her. So, like, what are your thoughts on those? And what did you think about my hotcakes?
H's hotcakes.
H's hotcakes. I think we're selling hotcakes.
And I still want to put I still want to do the thing about the what do you want to know, Joe, that we talked about in the last one.
What do you want to know, Joe?
Like how they had questions for us. We still need to do that. But yeah, so that wraps up the heartbreaking tale of the Lake Waco murders.
Like us, share us.
Look at you. I even have that on the screen and I was about to get to that.
Girl,
look at you.
I've been knowing you so well.
But yeah, so
follow us, share us.
Follow, share, send it to your friends, send it to people you know that are interested in this, and
if they're not, do it anyways, because you never know, they could become interested in it.
Very true.
People always want to know.
They do.
People are nosy, like for real nosy,
like our neighbors.
No, girl, this girl right here, I cannot. That is a totally different subject, but she's got it, the whole entire thing mapped out in her brain, what's happening next door. And I bet they just people living their life doing nothing, and she's like, dun dun dun. Conspiracy Theory 101 is right there on the screen, Pete. You can see her right now. They so are. Okay.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up. So until next time, remember that H's Cup of Joe is where true crime is stirred, not sugar-coated.
H's Cup of Joe.